Sunset Boulevard. I woke up after midnight once or twice. How did I get here? Took a dream, I made mine.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward. It's Wednesday. That means pACT. We're going to have a great show tonight. This is really cool because we're actually international, okay? It's not very often that I'm going to have somebody stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning to join us. But we have a beautiful guest who is trying to put together schools in Africa, and she's doing a wonderful job with that. And it's 3 a.m. there. What kind of person starts a podcast at 3 a.m.? Oh, wait, I just did that a couple of weeks ago, huh? Yeah, well, nobody's ever really, told me I was that sane. So, but this guest, she's not only sane, but she's doing some awesome things there in Africa, trying to bring education to kids who are dealing with less than fortunate situations. We're also going to be joined by one of my favorite people in the world. Sabrina Morris is joining us. I've known Sabrina for a while. She is just the sweetest person in the world. She just had a new book come out, and we are going to be giving one of these away today, okay? And what you got to do is you've just got to say, I'm here, and leave us your name and say, I want a chance to win the book. And then at the end of the show, we're going to draw for somebody to win this book. So we're hoping that you stick around and enjoy the show. Howdy, brother. Justin Jones from VWAS is joining us. So looks like Justin has already got his name in the book or name in the running for limited success. So thank you for joining us, and we're going to get started here. So I just got a wonderful phone call, and I'm going to brag about it because it's exciting to me. My son, my youngest boy, Justice, just got off the phone with him, and he's been working a long time to get to this point. He turns 21 this year. So his ultimate goal, he can't quite get there yet, but he just got hired by the Weld County Sheriffs right here in my hometown of Greeley. He's going to be He's going to be working in the jail system as a guard. I could not be happier. A little nervous, yeah, but Justice has started his career in law enforcement, and I'm just going to say it, anybody who, with everything that happens today in the world, anybody who is going to sit there and say, you know what, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to bring change to law enforcement. I want to make sure people are safe. Andy's my son. That helps me love him quite a bit, right? I mean, it's kind of what we're supposed to do, right? Love our kids. They kind of look at you funny when you beat them in front of people. But, and the other thing is, he's taller than I am. So, and he's faster than me. Let's be honest here. I couldn't catch him if I tried. I can't catch him if he's sleeping. I'm an old fat guy, so I can't catch him if he's sleeping. So, but Justice, son, congratulations. And Dad's proud of you. I'm really, really proud of you. So one of the things that you guys know that we like to do is we like to start our show off with the quote that I found today. And this is really a quote that hit home with me because of the 22-hour podcast. The money wasn't where we wish it was, okay? But money's not everything. And this quote is from Bonnie Blair, speed skater. And the quote is, winning doesn't always mean being first. Winning means doing better than you've done before. And I think that's such a great quote because you know what? Money is not everything. We say that in every show. It means something. It means a lot to us because, yeah, we wanted to raise money. We wanted to raise more money than what we did. But I'm going to tell you something. We were joined by some people that, and I said it before, I could hardly stay on my seat during some of the times because I was laughing so hard. It was hard to breathe sometimes with some of the other stories that we heard. It was like getting a punch to the solar plex. But every story had a little bit of a message of hope, and something that we're looking for is trying to bring hope to a difficult situation. There's nothing good about suicide. We understand this. There's nothing good about suicide. But if we talk about it, if we can learn how to approach it, if we can learn how to, as a society, take and learn how to approach somebody who's on the edge and maybe give them 5-minute extra time to think, then we're doing a good job. So once again, my quote of the day is, winning doesn't always mean. Let me try this again in English, because apparently that's the language I speak. Can't tell with that statement there. Winning doesn't always mean being first. Winning means that you're doing better than you've ever done before. Such a great quote. Thank you, Bonnie Blair. That's right there. Very, very intelligent. I love it. Want to take a real quick moment to tell everybody who's going to be joining us tonight to welcome to the pACT channel. It's no longer for my podcast alone. We've got other wonderful podcasts that are going to be joining us on this channel, which includes the Facebook channel, the Twitter handle, and right here, and our YouTube channel. Eesh. So we've got 3 things that are going to be used for positivity. What does this mean for you? Well, this means if you've ever sat there and thought to yourself, geez, I've got stuff to say, I would sure like to get into one of them there podcasting things, here's your chance. We would like to give you a format to be heard. We can't make you famous. You can only do that yourself. But this is a chance that if you have something positive to say, we'd love for you to bring it to our channels, to our programming, and to say something, get it out. Make sure that people understand, you know what, there's a lot of trouble with the world today. We know that. We can all talk about all the difficulty that everybody's going through. We know that there's now a conflict that's in full-fledged, scary place. We know that there's still illness. We know that there's still struggle. Let's start talking about some of the good that's going on, okay? Let's start talking about some of the things that people are doing out there that are trying to improve situations. There's so many people out here who are trying to make a difference in this world. And if we talk about them, maybe, once again, maybe for a minute, we can forget that there's so many problems. That's a good thing to do, isn't it? I mean, let's forget. Not forget, that's a wrong word to use, but you know what? Let's take a moment. Let's take a breath. Let's all remember that we're all human beings. And if we work together, we can make a huge, huge difference. This also gives you a chance to put your business where your heart is. Okay. Would you like to maybe be a sponsor of the pACT podcast? Maybe would you like to be a sponsor of World of Women? How about community impact, or the Compassionate Citizen podcast? You can be a sponsor of one of those shows, or even the entire network, for as little as $16 a show. Okay, so that's not much. We're not huge, but you know what? With your help, we can get bigger. Are we ever going to be an NBC? Not if we don't try. If you help us out, maybe we can get there a little bit quicker. Do I want to be an NBC? No way. No way. I'm already putting in enough work as community pay it forward. I don't need to be an NBC. So, and let's be honest, you guys don't really want to look at this any more than you have to. Okay, so you know, this is definitely a face for radio, but we do add the wonderful camera thing to it and stuff like that. Some of the great shows, and I've already mentioned them, but I'd like to mention them again. some of the great shows that we've got, some of the great opportunities that you have to be joining us are, Kurt and Emily are joining us. Zeta's joining us. We've got Compassionate Citizens that's starting at 3 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Mountain. We've got World of Women on Tuesday afternoon. World of Women is every Tuesday evening at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain. Women, men, if you got a message, it's a great place to go. Men, it's a really cool place to go. Sit down, listen to what's on women's minds. Be able to talk about the strong women in your life. Zeta's built a wonderful, wonderful show. Emily's helped her build this wonderful show. She's got wonderful guests that join her every week, and she's got special guests that come on. I'm quite frequently, I join them. Zeta doesn't keep us in the background like we're being punished. She brings us forth. We get to talk. We get to ask questions. It's a great place to where if you want to talk about empowering women, it's a beautiful, beautiful show. So I suggest you join us every Tuesday evening, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain. Community Impact was launched today. It happens at 4 Eastern, 2 Mountain. Another show that's about the positivity. It's about community impact. It's a great thing, great new show. Kurt and Emily are putting it together. It's going to be a great show. Make sure that you find out more. You can always just get a hold of us. Just send us an email and we can tell you how to get on with them. Our purpose of this channel is a couple things, okay? And it's very simple. We just want to be there and be a voice for you. Be a voice for your mission. Be a voice for your cause. You work hard at what you do. Let us help you spread the word. We're proud to bring the pACT channel to life. It came to life out of necessity. Well, it's here. If you want to join a podcast that has to do with inclusion, inspiration, involvement, or outreach, we've got somewhere for you to be. Just give us a call, 970-909-0751, 970-909-0751. All you have to do is give us a call and say, you know what, I'd like to learn some more. Hey, I'd like to put my business, I'd love to put my business where my heart is. I'd like to be part of this. Right now is the best time to do it. You know what, jump on when we're getting started. That way you can be there when we're all successful movie stars. Okay, maybe not movie stars, YouTube stars. Oh, that's scary. All the YouTube stars I know are kind of not smart people, so I don't know if I really want to be one of those either. Be here as we start to empower, include, and involve, and we share our outreach with you. So we've got this started. It's time for us to get on with what the show is all about. My first guest and the first person I want to introduce to you, as I said, a wonderful, wonderful story. It is 3 o'clock in the morning for her, yet she's up and she's ready to talk about it. She's up and ready to be part of what we're doing. I'd like to introduce you to LYDIA. How you doing, LYDIA?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm doing great. And then we're also being joined by, as I mentioned before, a dear, dear friend of mine, wonderful, wonderful person, and somebody who's, you want to be inspired? You're going to be inspired. Sabrina, how are you, sweetie?
Hi, LYDIA.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being up at 3 a.m. to join us.
Yes, I'm happy to join
Isn't that exciting? LYDIA, you are part of building schools there in your region. Once again, I know that this might sound like this is kind of one of those, you were just in a tornado, how do you feel that your house is destroyed question, and I don't want it to be that way, but what inspired you to want to build schools for the kids in your area?
Wow. Yes, I've been a teacher by profession for the last 14 years. And being in this field exposed me to many needs in our community, seeing the children being at home, and many could not go to school because of the tuition fee. Their parents are not able to pay tuition fee. And this is what really motivated me and to start this non-profit school, to able to support these children. Because even for me, when I was growing up, I went to school through the help of well-wishers because my mother died when I was 5 years, and I did not know my biological father, of which I knew him after 1 year. Just in 2020, that's when I knew my biological father, and no one could take me to school. And through the help of well-wishers, made me to go through my education. And for me, starting this non-profit school, it was just to give back to the community, you know. And it has been great having these children and seeing the number of these children growing. It has been so much amazing for me. So that's what motivated me to start this non-profit school.
We know that we just went through, and especially, we know that we just went through a difficult time with the COVID. You were building these schools. Were you started building these schools? Did you do that before COVID, or did this happen during COVID? And how difficult was it to continue during that time because our entire world shut down?
Yeah, I started started this in 20, late 2020. And I started by helping these children who are just roaming around. You know, the school was closed for almost 9 months in our country, and I started by teaching them on how um, to keep themselves safe because child abuse was so high during COVID-19 in our country, and that's when I met Chrissy Sykes, and I went through the training for child maltreatment, and that's where I started having these children in my home. And in 2021 January, that's when I started teaching these children now in my home. And when the number grew, I had to look for a space in a church, of which it was not easy because since 2020, I've never had any salary income. And hereby, you depend on the well wishers to pay the rent and also to keep these children upkeep. And it has been not easy. I know that I've been evicted with the children once. That was in August last year because I was not able to pay the rent for the place that I was using, and we had to move out. And a well-wisher came in and paid the rent and was able to help us move to the place we are at right now. And it is still not easy, Zach, to pay the rent and feed these children because the number has been growing. Like right now, we have 57 children, and it's from 6 months to 7 years. And as the school grows, we'll be having the next classes every term. So we, we really need support. I really need support able to help this school grow because even right now I'm feeling we don't have space for the next class, and I kept on thinking like where will we go now because I do not have a permanent place school for these children to be able to use as their school. And that is why we have to be able to find a place where we can have classes for these children. Being that is non-profit, I do not have the salary to pay these teachers if I don't get a well-wisher to step in and stay for a month, stay for 2 months, and I can relate with them, waking up very early in the morning, going to work, and there's no salary at the end of the month. It's not easy. So those are some of the challenges you're facing, and also with food. Yeah, so rent, food, and teacher's salary are the biggest challenge that I'm facing. Yeah, at the school.
What what are you forced to do when you were talking about the eviction? What did you have to do to make sure that these children were educated? Because you don't just stop. You still want to make sure that these kids are educated. Did you try to, were you forced to try to teach them outside, or what happened then?
Hmm. Come up again, please.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
She said, say that again. Ask the
Oh,
question again.
yeah, and we're gonna ask everybody to please bear with us. It is very very late at night, and Lydia's internet is a little choppy, but we're gonna fight through this because this is such an this is such a powerful story, and we need to make sure that we understand all the work that she's doing. What do you? The question I had for you, Lydia, is what do you do when in that situation when you got that eviction notice? Did you have to try to teach the children outside, or
Mhm.
were you unable to teach the children at that time?
Yeah, during eviction, they had to stay home because I did not have anywhere to take them or to teach them. So they had to stay home until we got a wisher to step in and clear the areas, because we could not even take some of the items we had from the hall due to the arrears. So after it was paid, it took like a month when children were just home with their parents. And now when it was paid, and that's when we moved out. Yes.
Sabrina, did you have a question for?
Actually, I want to address the audience that's listening right now to Lydia, because Lydia is going the extra mile for the children. So everyone, I know some people think money is not everything. I know the love of money is the root of all evil. So those of you who have the finances, you can see Zach put a link at the wrong way, guys. You can see Zach put a link at the bottom there. Go ahead and turn in your receipt and support Lydia. I have another idea while Lydia was talking. Zach, I know you have several books. Why don't we encourage givers to receive another book for the highest giver for, let's do a week. So, and we brainstorming out loud on the fly, guys. And then also, when you guys shift the camera, you can see I have a bunch of art that I've been working on back there. And I was like, oh no, they can see that. However, that just gave me an idea. I'm going to go through those pieces, and I'm going to choose 2 pieces, and we are going to auction those off for Lydia as well. So people with money, those who have a giving heart, let's help Lydia in her plight and fight for the children. This is not about us, people. This is about the children. And a lot of
Yes.
times, I know some children don't get to choose who their parents are. If you can see the picture over my, what is this, left shoulder, your right, however the camera depicts it, that's a picture of my mother who is now transitioned to be with the Lord. And I was blessed to have her as my mother, and I talk about her in the book. We don't get to choose who our parents are. We don't. So let's help Lydia, who's helping those children who may not have had the best parents. Just because we can have children does not mean we should have them. I'm going to say that again. Just because we can have children does not mean we should have them. So, Lydia, thank you. for all that you're doing for the children. I'm not going to get up now and go through all the pictures because it's going to be a mess. But I see that on a regular basis. So we will choose a couple of pictures. We'll even get your input, and you say, "Yeah, that one, not that one, Sabrina. Let's auction those." And then we will auction those off to raise some money for you, and we'll get those out. It's another idea.
That is
anybody else
Well,
who has an idea to raise money for
well,
Lydia, you do have Zach's information. Is it up there? It was the square that was over my face earlier. So that was
yeah. I'm actually I'm glad that
wow.
Emily was on that. I'm glad that Emily was on that because I was trying to figure out.
Emily's
Wait a minute.
amazing.
So Sabrina's too pretty to have that square on her face. We need to figure this
I
out.
needed the square. I didn't mind the square. You know, it's like, oh, I don't want the square. Everyone out there, not these people, but everyone who's joining us, or if you're on the replay, please, if you're on LinkedIn or Facebook and you're seeing this on the replay, put replay in the chat. And then also in the chat, put bidder. So that Zach, where'd that come from? So that Zach could reach out to you for your bid. Or Emily, even. Emily's in the background. You guys aren't seeing Emily. She is amazing. We wouldn't have these without her. She's amazing.
Yep.
So, Lydia,
Yeah.
you continue your story. What was the toughest? I can't imagine being evicted and going through that and all the pain that's going through your mind, your emotions, your stomach, and oh, we lost her.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm hoping that she's able to pop back on. Her internet connection. She unfortunately usually she's on her phone. Here she is again. Okay,
Excellent.
That's great. She's back. Yeah, her phone every once in a while does drop the charge, but we will be as patient as we can. We'll be as patient as we need to be because Lydia's story is just too important. So,
right.
But yeah, please continue with your statement, Sabrina.
I forgot what it was.
You were talking about her story and
yes, now I remember the pain. I know that was a tough thing to have to go through, and there were a lot of people who are in the time of the pervasive sickness. They got behind on their mortgage or their, I call them mortgage and death grip payments. What would you tell the audience to encourage them to get through some of the tough financial times in their life?
Okay. What was your question again? I don't think she heard it, or it looks like okay.
She froze.
Sorry, I did not hear you.
What was the question again, Sabrina?
Lydia, what would you tell those who face some really, really tough challenges of eviction and going through that in life? What would you say to them to encourage them through something so devastating?
Yeah, what I could tell them is to never give up and keep on pressing on, because many times I felt like giving up, especially like even this year we had we have a 3-month rent and we are closing today, and it has been not easy, and so many times I felt like giving up, like, what, did I make the right decision to start this, did I really thought about it? But again, I tell myself, like, no, I have to keep on pressing on. I have to keep on going no matter what, no matter what the situation, So what I would encourage people who are going the same challenges is to never give up and to keep on pressing, to keep pressing on, and also to remain focused on their mission and their goal. And for sure, one day they'll be able to make it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's excellent. Excellent.
And
Thank you,
Lydia. It's one of those things that Sabrina and I can both tell you. Being American, there's a lot of times that we see kids who take going to school as something that's a bother. They're
Yeah.
like, why do I need to do this? The kids that you work with, they see it as they're excited, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you're teaching them. I asked you this question when we first met. And once again, we're being joined by Lydia, who she runs just a fantastic program called Happy Gardens Community Organization in Africa. And again, if you look below, you can find a jot form, folks. All you have to do, this is as simple as it gets. You find a verified community pay it forward fundraising partner, and you can find any partner at communitypayitforward.us. You shop with that partner and you go to this jot form on the bottom. You attach that receipt, and that partner is going to give a referral fee to the company, and our company is going to give 80% to a cause. If you go and you find Happy Gardens Community Organization, you're going to be giving Lydia 80% of whatever that company has agreed to give us to help continue to teach kids.
Nice.
These kids today, we need them to learn, and they need this. And you're also talking about a difficult situation in a society, or in a situation that is not as they don't have what we have. So let's make sure that these kids get this help that we need. This is we're trying to help. That's all we're trying to do. Sabrina has already said, starting right now, we're going to put up a beginning offer, a beginning bid of $10 for limited success for 1 week. We want this to be the book that's sold. We want all of her books sold.
Actually, Zach, can we say we want a minimum bid to start off at $20 and not?
There you go. There you go. We'll put a minimum bid of $20 on this book right here. $20. Okay. 1 week, we're going to be bidding on this. The winning bid is going to go to Lydia and the Happy Gardens Community Organization.
Wow.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone who makes a bid will receive a community pay it forward cooling towel. Okay. They're just microfiber towels. They're great during the summertime. And if you're in Colorado, it was 70 degrees today. Summer is coming. These are wonderful to have. Anyone who makes a bid, we're going to give you a towel to make sure that we can help Lydia get these schools built. Make sure that they don't have to face this eviction anymore. Kids should be able to learn. Lydia, you teach these children. What do you teach the kids? I'll just leave the question at that.
Yeah, we teach them our curriculum, like the same that other children are being taught in different schools, the same curriculum that you are teaching them according to the Ministry of Education. Yes.
Yeah.
And we also provide them with feeding program, that is from breakfast and lunch.
No, so yeah, feeding. Wow, you're doing so much. You're taking a very, very difficult situation and a personal difficult situation at that, and you're turning it into a gift. And Sabrina, I want to commend you for taking the steps. Sabrina is also going to be auctioning off a couple pictures of pieces of art. If you'd like to bid on this, if you've got a company and you'd like to say, you know what, we'll give a free whatever to this, we're going to have an auction for 1 week. Let's help Lydia here. Let's do this. Sabrina started an auction. She's doing a great job. She's reaching out there. She's trying to help people. Come on, guys, let's step up and let's make sure that we do this together. So, Lydia, you have the choice, if you would like, to go on ahead and get a little bit of sleep. We do know it's 3 o'clock in the morning, or you can always stick with us. That's fine. But I want to thank you so much for joining us and telling us your story. And me personally, please don't give up the fight. Let's make sure that we're, everybody out there, look, these are our kids. Okay, these are kids. And we, you may not like kids very much, but let's be honest here, every kid deserves a chance. And if we're taking chances away from kids, they're not getting a chance, okay? So this is a chance for us to step up, stand up, and back some children, getting an education, okay? We're not, and this is a time that, we're going to ask you to come together and help us do this. Lydia, your story is beautiful, and I thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Can I connect with Sabrina on our LinkedIn, or how can I get your address so I can be able to connect?
Yes, if you look for the Lifestyle Promoter on LinkedIn, you will find me.
You say
Lifestyle Promoter?
I have my phone here. Let's just connect. Lydia, bear with me one moment. We're live, aren't we?
So while you guys are doing that, I'm going to go on ahead. And one of the other things that you can do, one of the new things that you can do right here with the pACT channel is, if you've got something that you're doing, a great organization that you're trying to help out, a great organization that you're trying to fundraise for, or if you're trying to make a difference, send us some information about that so we can share it with others. This is from a great friend of the program, a great friend from the Happy Neighborhood Project, and just a great person overall. And she sent us this wonderful, wonderful little video. Please make sure that you understand this information and you share it. Make sure that you watch everything that she does, because she's doing some great work. So this is a great video. It only takes a second, so enjoy this. And while we try to connect Lydia and Sabrina.
It takes a second to fall in love, to find your soulmate, to achieve glory. It only takes a second for everything to change.
Okay, well, you know what? Zach did it again. You can tell that we've got technical difficulties Kurt on, because Zach screwed up, and I'm going to blame it on Kurt. So here we go again. Here's the video with sound. How does that sound? Probably better, right? So let's go for it. Here's the video one more time. It
takes a second to fall in love, to find your soulmate, to achieve glory. It only takes a second for everything to change.
In a split second, I looked down and my life changed dramatically. Now I want people to know the real outcomes of distracted driving. Please don't drive distracted. It's a second you wish you could have back.
That's such a great message from such a wonderful woman. She's taken, once again, she's taken a very, very difficult and tragic situation, and she's turned it into a great program. So please make sure that you check out Molly and everything that she does. She's a wonderful speaker, and she does a lot of great stuff. So were you two able to connect?
I realized I need Lydia's last name, but I didn't want her to give it live. So I put it in the chat. If somebody can put it in our private chat, I'll reach out to her now.
Okay. Yes, my last name. I put it on the chat.
Oh, you did? Why don't I not see it?
Okay.
Can I write it on the chat?
Yes.
Did you put it? Did you? Oh, I'm trying to. Here we go. Right here is Lydia's LinkedIn information. Thank you very much to Kurt. Right here is Lydia's. This is Lydia's LinkedIn information, and we're putting it on the chat. Please make sure that you reach out, and everybody, reach out on LinkedIn and you follow her. And then once again, anybody who does not know what Community Pay It Forward is, please take a look at this video. This is a little bit longer video, but this will explain exactly how to use the Community Pay It Forward fundraising program. It's very, very simple. And the best thing about it is it doesn't. I didn't realize how groovy that song was. I'm actually kind of getting into it.
Yes, if you're a dancer, you're kind of like, okay, you're live, don't get up.
You know, it's actually kind of funny, Sabrina. I always tell people that I don't dance. I'm big enough to where if I make a shift or something, it's just the residual motion of me moving back and forth. So it's not that I'm a dancer or anything. So we're joined again by Sabrina and Lydia. And I want to thank you guys both again for joining us on pACT tonight. Once again, folks, give us a bid. Bid's at $20 right now, a starting bid. Every penny that we get from this book will go to help Lydia build a school for how many? You said 56 children?
57.
57 children. For 57
Yes.
children. Okay, we're also going to have some artwork, and if you make a bid, get it to $21. It doesn't matter. Get it to $20. I'm going to take and I'll throw in a cooling towel made by Colorado Promotional Supply, one of our fantastic partners. So they do some great things.
May I interrupt you here? Even
You
though I'm
may.
asking for permission, I'm still going to do it anyway. I think your audience can do better than $21.
I agree. And I think that, you know what?
75, 250. Why not 500?
Yeah, let's get this going.
So excited. That would be great.
Let's get this going. And you know what? While you're out there, while you're putting a bid on the book, turn in a receipt. We've all got a shop. You just saw the video how to do it. If you got any questions, make sure that you give us a call. We'll walk you through it. It's so simple. You shop with our partners. That's all you got to do. We're not going to ask you to round it up. We're not going to ask you to, we're not going to ask you to pull out your wallet the second time. You get a picture, or you get your receipt. Take a picture of it and choose where you want it to go. Why not send it to Lydia? Help her and these 57 kids. Lydia, you're doing such a beautiful job, and we thank you very much. And once again, I invite you to stick around, but completely understand that it is 3 o'clock in the morning, and if you need to get some rest, please feel free to do that. So,
thank you
for joining
so
us.
much.
We'll connect with you again, okay?
Thank you so much, Sabrina, for meeting you. And we're going to connect in LinkedIn, and the rest of the team can also reach out to me in the LinkedIn. And I'm so much grateful for this opportunity just to meet with me. I was really looking forward, and I couldn't wait just to meet you and just to have this time together. I'm so much grateful, and I feel we're going to work together as a team on this project, because I know that together we can make it. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
You too.
You my dear.
And Lydia, just to let you know, as grateful as you are, we're just as grateful that we got to get to know you, and we welcome you to the Community Pay It Forward fundraising family. And we will not stop until those 57 kids have a school. So let's keep working. And the 57 after that, and the 57 after that, let's make sure that we make a difference. Thank you very much. You take care of yourself, take care of those kids, and make sure everybody's safe for us, okay? We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye. Wow. Yeah. That's an amazing story. Sabrina, there's a lot of times that you kind of forget that, we are in our own little world. Let's be honest. And there's times that you forget about stories like this. And there's stories like this all over the place. And to hear stories like that there are kids out there that are struggling like that, it's remarkable that they're fighting to go to school. They're fighting to eat. They're fighting to do things that, that we, a lot of times we take for granted. And it's a wonderful thing that, once again, somebody as young as she is, it really takes and it does wonderful things. And I personally appreciate you for stepping up and doing what you suggested and are offering. And I think that right there tells everything about you. So everything that everybody needs to know about you. You started your journey in memory of your mom, because your mom always was giving you quotes. From the first time that we met, every time that you speak about your mom, you get that glisten in your eye, you get that smile on your face. You can tell how important she is. Can you give us a little bit of, why don't you tell us about your mom first?
So my mother, for the audience, Zach and I have talked about this before, but my mother transitioned to be with the Lord a little while ago. I lose track of time because we were very close. She was my best friend, my road dog, my buddy. I call her my partner in crime. We didn't do any crime, though. She was not having that. So I have a funny story to tell. So I'm a driver. I like fast cars, fast airplanes. Went mushing recently and discovered I like fast little doggies too. So I lived in Maryland for a while, and we were driving from Maryland to North Carolina. And I had rented a Mustang. So I'm very comfortable at what we call about $120, $130. And when I get comfortable while I'm driving, I know in my mind's eye, oh, you're speeding, you're way too relaxed. So I looked down and I was like, oh crap, let me pull it back. And then all of a sudden, my mother's riding with me, guys, okay? So she's the passenger. And all of a sudden I see cherries. I'm like, oh crap. So I have to pull over, and the police walks up to the car. Now, Maryland police, they have bigger issues most of the time out there. So if they pull you over, they're pulling you over for something substantial, right? So I don't know how fast I was going because I had just taken my foot off the accelerator. Let's just put it that way. And my mother was like, I told you to stop speeding. I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. So the police walks over. He asked for my driver's license and registration. And he had some funny comment. And I think my mother had a look like, you don't need to talk to her like that because she can communicate very well in her facial expression. So the police comes back. And I had an unpaid ticket, which I paid. And I was like, oh, this is getting worse. This is going downhill quick. So the police would not let me drive anymore. He insisted that my mother could drive going forward. And he wasn't taking me to jail. Like I said, they have more important things to do. And so now I had just got to Virginia. So all the way from Virginia to North Carolina, my mother fussed me out the whole trip for so many levels. So when I get in front of the judge, because I did go in front of the judge, I had paid the ticket, so I had my receipt. I started to tell the judge the story, and when I said my mother had to drive, he said, oh, say no more. He said, I can tell you have a mother kind of like me, so your punishment has happened. There is nothing that I can do to compare. She had to drive all the way there and all the way back. He said, case dismissed. I said, you don't want to see my receipt? I know you have the receipt. It's like, next. So, I mean, and we would laugh about that moment. And one thing, and I know there's a lot of ladies out there who are very close with their mother. They do a lot of things with their mother. They celebrate that relationship. And one thing I would ask my mother from time to time, I would say, Mother, I said, how am I going to deal with it when you transition and go home to be with the Lord? How am I going to deal with that? And she said, baby, it's not something, and she called us all baby. If she thought of you as her child, you were her baby. And we didn't say, we're too rough. We liked our teeth intact, our lips not being swollen, right? She was such a sweetheart, though. So we didn't want to make her upset. And we knew the loving in her heart when she said baby. It was all over the term. So she would always tell us, how do you, so for those ladies who are so close, some ladies are close to their fathers, mm-hmm. How do you deal with that transition? And I would ask my mother how she dealt with losing her mother, because she had the expertise. She's already walking that out daily. And she said, there's something you don't ever get over. You deal with it in a different way as time progresses. She said, however, for you and I, our memories are what are going to really help. So, for example, I haven't thought of that memory in a long time. And sometimes I'll miss my mother and I'll think of a memory and I'll start laughing and crying at the same time because we had those cherishable moments. It goes back to another thing she talked about, and we were talking to Lydia earlier. More Americans need to travel. We need to get abroad. Once, if you're afraid, I don't talk about fear much because that's something of the enemy, but be bold. Go to another country and experience it. It really does open your eyes. It helps you understand how blessed we are in America. Even unless you have been to another country and experienced how children go to school or how they fight for food or live daily or even seen some of the living conditions of other countries, you can't understand what Lydia is talking about. So I implore everyone to get out there and explore the world so you can actually understand what she's going through. I think if more Americans would travel to get more exposure to the world and different cultures, then that would help us in our compassion for other people. There was I don't remember where I was at the time, but I remember when I travel, I like to experience the culture. So when I go to eat, I don't eat where the tourists go. I go and eat where the locals go. And it's so fun because you get to experience the food they enjoy. You get to get out. The point is get out and enjoy the world. Learn something. Get some exposure to cultures. And don't be, and I'm going to use this term, and I know some of you don't like it. That's too bad. Don't be stupid when you travel abroad. You're there to learn. Take it in. Ask questions. You know, if you don't understand something, ask. Walk in love when you travel. Leave a good impression when you go to another country. Respect the culture. That's one thing my mother taught me. One thing she would always say, baby, if you're going to go to Europe, you need to learn the language. Don't go over there and don't even know what hi, bye, bathroom, doctor, where to go. Learn the language. So in my mother's honor, but I don't always do what I'm supposed to either, like so many of us don't. I do some studying, but God gives me favor with the men there. So I only need to know a few words, and then they spoil me the rest of the way. Sabrina, I got you. What do you need? I'm like, I need to go and shop for jewelry. Who do you know? I need to shop for this, or take me to where the locals shop. So lots of fun. I'm talking a lot, and that's the wrong link, Zach. I haven't been in that link in so long.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you can put at SD Travel One on Instagram. So for Instagram, if you like to follow us on Instagram, please, thank you, Zach. Please follow on Instagram at SD, D as in Delta, Travel, TRAVEL 1. Reach out to me out there and let me know where your next adventure is going to be. That would be great. I'd like to find out about that.
Okay, yeah, we'll try to. We'll make sure that we get the right one up there. It's kind of funny because you were sitting there and you were talking about the story with your mom. My parents, thankfully, are still alive, but they're getting older. And my brothers were just in town recently, and we were having that very difficult end of life reality situation. Mm-hmm. We're trying to do it responsibly. That way there's none of that conflict in anything. And to be honest with you, my brothers and I, our thing is that, you know what? Items aren't going to replace the parents. So we're not going to fight about it. That's just not who we are. Mm-hmm. But you were talking about that story with, and by the way, I would love to see your picture of your mom driving a Mustang. I think that would be great. I really do. But it brings me back to a story that I already know when it happens and my dad passes. I already know the story I'm going to tell. And it's one of those stories that every time I think about it, I get a little choked up in because it's such a memorable moment in my life. And it's when all three of us, when we were back in Garden City, Kansas, we had this truck. We called it we called it Frankenstein, or no, we called it Glory because it had red, white, and blue panels all over the thing. Okay, it had panels. It was a Ford truck with Dodge panels that were all red, white, and blue. I mean, this thing was just a mess. It had a shifter that there was a bent bar. It was a bent piece of metal. It wasn't a real shifter. Okay. This is the 80s. This is how you drove in the 80s, apparently. Every time that you made a right turn, the horn honked. So you saw the entire family driving down the road, make a right turn, honk. That's what all of us would do. Didn't know the people. It was so funny. Everybody always waved back. My father, my two brothers, and I, we were on our way down to we were driving down the road, and And I asked my dad, hey, Dad, can you turn into Walmart? Without missing a beat, my dad takes, and he's driving, mind you, my dad takes and he grabs his nose and he goes, no, I'm sorry, I can't turn into Walmart. It took me a minute to figure it out, but then when I figured it out, I died laughing, and I still laugh at that today because I can just see my dad doing something like that. He does stuff like that all the time, and it's one of those memories that you're right. You never forget those things, you know. You kind of forget about the times you were in trouble a lot of times, but it's those good memories that you just, you know, are really hard to forget. So, your mom has a lot to do with this.
Yes.
A lot of her quotes are in there, correct?
I tell a story about one of the challenges that I faced in my career and how I overcame those. And my mother's wisdom helped me through that moment. So one of her quotes is in, what's the right word? One of her quotes is in the book. And it is, as our mother, when we were growing up, she would say, I'm your mother first. I'm not your friend. But then as we got older, our relationship changed. And then when she needed to go back into the parent mode, she would say this, which is what the portion of the book dedicated in her memory is toward her favorite quote. And she would say, I have to give an account to God how I raise you. God said, train up a child in the way that they should go, and they should not depart from it. And if she was going to tell us something that was, as many people say, oh, you're all in my business. So she would establish that in the beginning. She would say that I already know that I'm in your business. Now that that's out of the way, she would go down. Now, you had a choice. You could not listen, worst thing to do. I watched my cousins not listen to my mother. And their life would go, and literally. And then they would ask her for help after she told them what not to do. They were on their own at that point.
Yeah.
You taught her for that. I mean, I don't blame her. So you were smart and you listened. And if it didn't apply to what you needed at that moment, all of her children would file it away. So we'll file it away and we'll reach into our reserves. And that's one thing we would tease her about when she was here on the earth. We would tell her, no matter what, Mother, we would always hear your wisdom. And it's true. We all laugh about it. When I say we all, my mother had birthed two children, myself and my brother. However, all of her pallbearers literally were her sons. Yeah. She did not birth them, but if you tapped one of those guys on the shoulder and say, hey, that's not your mother you're carrying, you'd probably get knocked out because it was emotional for them in the moment. So she blew that whole myth of single women raising men out of the water because most of her children were male, which is really awesome. I mean, and they would not talk back to her. Some of them stood 6 feet, basketball players, fighters, martial arts fighters, like cage fighters. Are you kidding? They were like, oh, no, that's Mom. She'll kill us. We're going to do what she tells us because she loves us and she has our best interests at heart.
We're going to, and like I said, this is just, it's funny when you and I do get together. A lot of times we go to we start a conversation with business in mind. It doesn't stick on business very often. We just end up in conversations, and it's wonderful. And sure would be nice if you and I had more time that we could just actually sit down and talk. But I understand that you're a busy. Excuse me. Let me once again try this in English. You're a very busy person, but with the new book and everything. We're going to get right back to the book, but I need to bring up a really quick point. And you guys have just a couple seconds ago, you did notice a comment here from Brian Gibson. Brian Gibson is the founder of Project Die Hard. Project Die Hard, we are putting together, he is putting together, we're trying to help. They're called FOBs, which are forward operating bases. These forward operating bases are to help save our heroes' lives. What they're doing is they're building a solution to a problem that's not a partial solution. They're going to be bringing in other organizations that can help them complete a program to complete somebody with a problem that's not just one thing. It's many different things. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. You can go back through and you can watch the 22-hour podcast. And at that 7 o'clock Mountain Hour, in which we're still trying to dissect it so we can bring it out and share it with you, Brian goes through the entire FOB and the plans for the FOB and tells you everything that there is to it and trying to put it together. He's also including JR with the Veterans Ranch, Justin Jones, who joined us earlier in the program with VWAS, Onward and Upward with Hope Advanced. All of these other programs are going to be there as part of what they're doing. In other words, folks, this isn't we're going to fix a piece and pass you to somebody else. This is a program to where we're going to build up somebody who has difficulties. We're going to help them building them up as a whole person. This right here is Hope Stock. This is one of the things that this is an event that's coming up. As you can see, July 29th through 31st. There's going to be live music. There's going to be just a lot of fun, barbecue, activities, tours of the facility. Everything is going on. You can be part of this. You can be a vendor. You can on Saturday there's going to be a breakfast. There's a motorcycle ride, which of course interests me because I like those crazy things. Oh, but look at this. There's also a Jeep tour. I like those crazy things too. So classic car show, music, so much more. There's so many things that you're going to be able to do if you could join them on live on Hope Stock. If you contact us, if you go to communitypayitforward.us, once again, communitypayitforward.us, we are going to have the documentation right there on that page. We're getting it loaded onto the page. It should be there sometime tomorrow. You can find out all the information on how to, once again, put your company where your heart is. You can be a sponsor to saving veterans' lives, to bringing your company to Hope Stock. Tell people we care. We're here. We support the FOBs. We want to see this veteran suicide epidemic end. Be part of it. You can go to, once again, communitypayitforward.us. Go to Save 22. It's a tab right up top. And here in the next couple of hours, all of this information is going to be there, including something that Brian was given by a congressman. And it's an In Focus program. And I'm going to stop the share now to show just a little bit of information about this. This comes directly from Washington, D.C. This is about the veteran suicide epidemic. Please make sure that you take a look at this, because once again, this is going to be on the website. It's going to be right there at 2save22. All you have to do is go to right there, communitypayitforward.us. You can find all this information and, find out how to sponsor it, find out more information, get a hold of Sabrina. Maybe she can help get you a package to go to Hope Stock. Go check it out. See all the fun stuff that they've got. It's going to be 3 days of a great time. I guarantee you're going to have some fun. And most important, you're going to be helping some people out. So
where is that?
Hope Stock is going to, And once again, it's in I believe it's Paducah is the location. So Brian, if you can help me here real quick, I wasn't ready for that question. I should have been. Oh, going ahead, Emily.
Makanda, Illinois.
There you go. So, oh, one more time.
Makanda, Illinois.
The mic ruffled. Say it again, Emily.
Makanda, Illinois.
There you go, McKenna, Illinois. So, but one of these days, I'm going to tell you something. One of these days, I'm going to have all this information ready for me. The funny thing is, it's all right here, but I would really look unprofessional sitting there going to the
Well, that's why we have Emily. She's amazing.
Yeah, that's right. That's the reason why I got a smart person helping me run the show. So, but thank you, Emily, for that question. Once again, please make sure that you check out Hopestock. You can get any and all information about Hopestock at their website, which is projectdiehard.org. Projectdiehard.org. Go check it out. You can get the why, you can get the where, you can get the you can get all of the information. Makanda, Illinois. There you go. One more time. Brian is one that fought the demon and survived. He understands the demon. He understands what it took to fight the demon. He's asking you to help him fight other demons and make sure that we're taking care of our heroes. So please join us at Hopestock. Please find out what you can do. You can always Project Die Hard on Facebook, like, follow, and share. There you go. So make sure that you check out Brian, check out everything that they're doing. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have a good time. And most important, we're going to be saving lives. So once again, I want to welcome Sabrina Morris to the pACT podcast, our actual first scheduled hour-and-a-half show. Last week, it ended up being an hour and a half because we went over. So, but this week, we were scheduled to do it. And so Sabrina just released Limitless Success. This was written, you were a co-writer with this?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, co-author. I'm educated in Garden City, Kansas, so please forgive me, Kansas school system. I'm not your best work. Tell us a little bit about the book, would you?
So Limitless Success, you will enjoy. This is for those that are bidding. I don't want to see any low bids out there. I want to see
right.
$500 or more. Okay? So, I'm giving away your money now. I'm great at that. I was going to say it would be great after you bid and win the book to give it away. So Limitless Success is amazing because different authors, we got together and we talked about some of our biggest challenges in life. How do you overcome those? When the doors seem like they close, Lydia talked about that earlier today. What do you do when the fight looks like it's over? Where do you girth up or get your strength from and continue to push past that wall, that invisible wall? But when you see the wall in your mind's eye, it's not invisible to you. So how do you get past those challenges? So there are many different stories that you will read, encouraging moments in life. For example, one person got ran over by a car as an adult and had to learn how to walk and move again. So how do you do that? So each of you will be able to relate to many of the different authors there and be able to have a story touch your life personally. So as you're reading the book, leverage their experience and trials in your own life. And I like to use the term springboard from those stories and come up with creative ideas to get past the invisible wall.
Invisible walls come in many, many shapes, sizes, and let's be honest, even colors, don't they? Mm-hmm. And how many of those walls do we put up ourselves? Can you kind of give us a couple examples of these walls that maybe some of our listeners and people who rewatch this show have put up that this book can help them navigate?
Well, that's interesting. So last night I went to an event whereby I was speaking at the event, and we did an exercise where we wrote an affirmation for everyone in the room, for a person in the room, and then the facilitator took all those answers together. She didn't tell us she was going to do, mixed them up, and gave them out to different people. So when you have perceived limitations, and I say perceived because a lot of times the enemy is very busy and he likes to create these perceptions that are not true, or illusions. The enemy is really good at illusions. So one card, the card that I got was very powerful. It said, "You are strong and you're capable." So it's what we tell ourselves as well, what we say to ourselves when we face a challenge. You can stop and say, "I'm capable, I'm strong." You may not feel like it. Feelings can be very misleading. Forget the feelings. Just chuck them out, chuck them over. I feel that way. No. What are you saying to yourself? That's more important. So this is one example.
What are the difference between what's the difference between an affirmation and actually convincing yourself that you can get past a problem? Is there any difference? Is there,
That's a good question. That's an excellent question. So our pastor is really good, but I'm going to go down a different path. So I'm going to stick to the question. A lot of times, I believe that death and life is in the power of the tongue, period. So even though you may have a feeling on the inside of impossibility, what you say about that will help you overcome it. And I'll explain. You may not feel like you're powerful, or you may not feel like you're strong. I'm strong. I'm strong. You keep saying that. I'm strong. I'm strong. And if you keep hearing it and you keep saying it, it will root out that unbelief that you're not strong. And you will start seeing evidence of your strength in what you do, what you accomplish. You're like, whoa, wait, this actually happened? That's so exciting. I'm really strong. So you may not feel that way, but don't say you're not strong. Do not say that. Say what you want to happen. And I'm only sharing this with each and every one of you because that took work in Sabrina. I had to do a lot of work there for myself because it's easy to tap into your feelings. Oh, I feel it. No. How do you want the situation to focus on what you want to happen, not what's actually happening, and then you will get strategies to get to where you want to go. Just watch your words. For so many years, I never watched my words. And one thing Mother would say to me a long time ago, she said, "Baby, I need you to learn how to encourage yourself because I won't always be here." And that's one of the tools that each of you can use, and that is guarding your mouth, guarding your words, and using powerful words for you. And then it will eventually get down on the inside of you, and you'll eventually believe it.
You always hear, and this is coming, let's be honest, all of us at some point in time have struggled inwardly, outwardly, emotionally, physically. There's always been a struggle somewhere. There's times when it's really, really hard to talk yourself into believing that you're okay, or and not sinking too low into that I'm not okay. How much truth is there to the saying that if you tell yourself you're okay, you're going to be okay? How much strength is there in telling yourself you are good, you can do this? This is not, the problems you have are not you. This is you. You are able to do this. You're a winner. You're not you're not the situation. You are a winner.
Well, while you were talking, I got an idea, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm good," and they're not doing anything. They're sitting in this gaming chair. I have a gaming chair. They're sitting in the gaming chair going, "I'm good. I got this." They're not moving. They're not helping themselves. They're sitting on their assets, getting fluffier, and they don't have a plan. They don't have a goal. They don't even know what a goal is. So you can tell I'm getting really passionate about it. So let me send it back to Notch so that everybody can understand what I'm saying, and I'm not yelling at them. So what it is you have to be moving forward. It's one thing to say the right affirmation, but it's another thing to move in the direction you want to go. Things don't always work out the way we plan. So what? It's a learning opportunity. Sit back. Now you can sit in the gaming chair, but you can use this. You use your brain and you can say, okay, what did I do wrong? What can I do better to get me past the challenge I face? And be honest with yourself. One thing my mother said is, don't lie to yourself. To your own self, be true. If you want to lie to everybody else, but that's a whole nother story. I wouldn't advise that. But if you were going to choose a place to lie to everyone else, but don't lie to yourself. I would say don't lie at all. But definitely draw a line in the sand and don't lie to yourself. Be honest. That's simple. Be honest with you. You know if you did the work to accomplish what you wanted to do. If you search in your heart, you'll know, were you lazy? Did you not get up when you were a little sleepy? Oh, I'm going to rest my eyes and fold my hands. It's going to happen, but you're not doing the work. How's it going to happen? My mother said, if you don't know, go get educated. Go take a class. Study. Practice what you learn. It's one thing to just say, well, I'm taking these classes, but you're not applying. So that's the difference. So, like, for one thing that really gets under my skin, and I'm going to control my pitch and tone so I can get through this, is when people sit back and say, well, I'm waiting on God. I want to say, if you don't get your butt up and move so that God can stop waiting on you and do something. My mother used to say one thing that I didn't really understand until my great aunt helped me with it a little bit. She would say, do something even if it's the wrong thing. And I was like, why would I want to do the wrong thing? And then my aunt said, because even if you do something, you're moving in the direction. If you do something wrong, now you have something you can learn from. Make a course adjustment. I'm speaking another language now, is that? Course
contagious.
And move forward. That's what we have to do. Course adjustment. Keep going. Oh, don't just sit back. Oh, I'm waiting on God. Now, there is a scenario where you can wait on him, but you're waiting on him for a download to a problem, because you're going to have the problem to ask the question, God, help me pass this problem. But if you weren't going forward, how are you going to ask for help? Because you don't need. You see what I'm saying? I hope everyone understands that.
One of the things that, this is another jewel from my father that he told me, and this comes in right in line with what you were saying about don't lie to yourself. I agree with you. Don't lie to each other. My dad told me probably the smartest thing I've ever heard my father say, and he said a lot of smart things, said a lot of questionable things too, but he said a lot of smart things. And I think the smartest thing I ever heard my father say, and one of the things that really, really later on in life really stuck with me, is if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. And I think that is so smart. I think that is, because if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember the lie that you told to cover up for this. Sabrina, and let's put this in here. After this week, because this right here is the only book that you concentrate on this week, buying this one right here so we can help Lydia build that school. After this week, where can we get a hold of your books?
On Amazon and Kindle. But after this week, if I get a report that someone bought a book, because Amazon has a report, someone bought a book before this week is over, they didn't bid on the book, Sabrina's not going to be happy about that. So after this week.
Yeah, let's work on Sabrina's very, very, very huge generosity, and let's make this come true. Let's help Lydia build that school. I know there's a lot of people who are going to sit there and they're going to talk about, well, this isn't an American problem. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Because every problem is a problem for everyone. Okay? Not teaching people, not educating people, that's a problem with the world. That's not just an American problem. That's a problem with the world. So this is a problem that we all can do, that we can all help. Sabrina, thank you very much for joining us. I'm gonna invite you to stick on for just a second. Kurt, why don't you go ahead and join us, and let's bring you in to tell us a little bit about what's going on MKE Now right after this show.
We have Rose Onama, Emily Gulmer, and Sue Roskoff on with our team here for Ability MK Now, Disability Advocacy Radio. You can listen to it live. You're covering it, Zach? Are you covering it tonight or no?
Yeah, I mean, we can take and do that. Yeah, go ahead and send me the link and I'll share it right here. It's great because Rose and Sabrina, Rose is a storyteller and she is fantastic. So yeah, thank you very much for letting us know, Kurt. And just send me the link and we'll go ahead and share it. We'll share this we'll share the show and I'll join you guys on there. Sabrina, thank you very much for joining us. You are a gem. All my love, all my thoughts go out to you. Make sure that you send us the artwork. Let's do this for Lydia. Let's help her build this school. Remember, there's so many things that you can do. We're going to share this show, but we got to jump off the air real quick. But before we do, while we're trying to get everything else set up, I want to go ahead and share this with you. Sabrina, once again, please keep in contact with us. Let's talk again. Let's get you back on the show as soon as possible. Matter of fact, let's get you on all the shows. You're that wonderful. I want to see you everywhere. So
thank you for doing this and all your hard work. Kurt, Emily, thank you guys.
We only do it because people like you allow us to do it. So this is we're going to leave you with this show with a video that was given to, and we've talked about him before. This is a video that was given to Brian to help them raise money. There is a powerful message in this video. This is called Rise. And we ask you to watch this and then stay right here for MKE Now. We'll be joining it in progress. This video is a little bit longer, but just enjoy this video and then we'll kick right into MKE Now. Thank you, Sabrina, again. Kurt, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Sounds good. Thanks, Zach. Thanks, Sabrina.
Zach, there's no sound.
All right, we are going into Ability MKE Now.
Well, it's not going to work out. It's not going to
We're
work out
working
for us
on the
this time.
sound.
Yeah, it's not going to work for us this time. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go on ahead and we're going to join MKE now. At least that's the plan, you know. I mean, the way that things are working out, we'll see what happens, but seeing a lot of stuff pop up, but we'll see. I'll bet you I know what I need to do. So please remember, we're still watching, we're still learning this program. So
Recording in progress. And so we have Zach Clayton joining us tonight, and hopeful that we'll also have Rose Onama joining us shortly as well. But for starters, I just wanted to share with you a fun story from earlier today. So I actually work at Carroll University, and we have some special friends that we've done a ton of adaptive water skiing with. And Kurt also is on the board of directors with ACAP out of Waukesha. So ACAP is Adaptive Community Approach Program. They are an awesome organization, been around for a very long time. They are an adult day program, and they have so many fun activities that they do. One of the staff there had called me last week and had shared that one of the groups that she leads is on Wednesday afternoon, so just earlier today, and it is the Great Race. So the group goes, and I don't know all the ins and outs of what they've all done in the past, but one of the outings they were looking to do was to see if they could come and visit at the university where I am, and had a thought of seeing what we have for animals, and perhaps they could be introduced to them and see what we do with over in the little science corner where I am. So I was excited to say yes, and to have them come on over and get a short little tour and get to meet some of our fun little critters we have. So currently we have well, first of all, the group that came, we had 5 participants, and Allison is a good friend from the program there that's on staff, that she's the one that we were able to arrange this with. And they also had an intern that is a Carroll student. I didn't get a chance to talk much with her. I'm not sure if she's a current student or if she's a past student. I believe her position right now is as an intern there. So it's kind of fun to have somebody who has been a student at Carroll to be part of the group as we were walking around and seeing different things there on campus. But with me being in the biology program, I was able to give them a little bit of an inside tour with getting to meet some of our little furry critters we have, and even some not so furry ones. We have the hissing cockroaches, the Madagascar cockroaches. We have on hand there, and one of our amazing student workers, actually last summer, she worked at a zoo back home. She does not live in Wisconsin, but when she was back home, she had a really nice position where she was doing some educational programs with different critters at a zoo, including cockroaches. So I was very lucky when she came back, and when she found out one of our animals was going to be that she was excited to take charge of their care and upkeep, and she actually led them just briefly on an introduction to them today, and she was amazing. Super lucky to have her. And then so we got to meet the cockroaches. We have a bunch of aquariums with different types of fish and snails and shrimp. Got to introduce them to some of our college educated rats. And then we also have a really unique program with the animal behavior students. So we have an animal behavior program
on campus, and one of the courses that is available for some select students is to actually foster a dog for an entire semester. That is what their class is. They prepare for it. I believe is prepare for it and take a class on what's going to be happening and how to do this during the fall. And then in the spring, they actually foster a dog. The dog lives with them. They are 100% in charge of care and training and everything for the spring semester. It just so happened when the ACAP folks were on campus with me was during that class time, and they were kind enough to let us come visit right at the end of class and introduce us to 4 of their gorgeous dogs, and everybody of course loved that. So we had a really, really nice day today with getting the chance to visit and show them a few kind of behind the scenes pieces, and to continue that connection with the amazing program that ACAP is. Our history with ACAP actually goes back many, many, many years with the adaptive water skiing that we've done with Pewaukee Lake Water Ski Club. So to be able to add and expand that connection with what we did today, I had a blast. I hope they had half as much fun as I did, because it was a great educational opportunity. And for me to have a chance to do a little, I guess you can call outreach today, was unique and a lot of fun. So Kurt, do you want to join back in here and share a few thoughts here with your experience with ACAP and just what you are, if you want to give everybody a snippet beyond what this particular program is. So just to share further what types of programming that they do there.
Yes, it is an exciting year for Adaptive Community Approach program, ACAP out of Waukesha, Wisconsin, and it is the 40th year celebration year, and so there's going to be things going on for the next half a year and a nice September event. But in terms of the programming, the staff at ACAP is very talented. Wide array of opportunities with the core mission of ACAP to help people with disabilities, the members with disabilities, to go out in the community and do what we call leaving their imprint out in the community. So this comes in many forms, and the staff we call community guides. So everything in this realm of disability services is about self-determination. So we like to empower the members to go out, and one of the things that they do is volunteer. There's actually many volunteer activities that the ACAP members do, which is really phenomenal, because folks like myself, never really thought of it that way. That, we always think, oh, people with disabilities, you volunteer to help and serve people, which is true. I mean, that is true, but you don't think of the reciprocity that's available there, to think people with disabilities are serving us. And that's what happens. People through ACAP, people with disabilities through ACAP, the members are going out, and these adults are making a difference in the city of Waukesha County, and it is amazing. And there's the sports and recreation programs, which obviously are a lot of fun, and they do technical stuff like podcasting. Can you imagine that in a program like this, that they have podcasting? They do things like gardening and baking and other cooking, and learning about disability advocacy, to learn self-advocacy and legislative issues, and so a whole wide array of things. So the staff throughout the year and year in and year out are thinking about, how do our members get an opportunity to build out their life the way they have in mind? And everything about the ACAP programming is about empowering that for our members, so that their lives are more enriched and they're doing more themselves, for themselves and for other people, and doing everything that everybody else is doing in the marketplace. It's awesome stuff, folks.
Excellent. I know even with getting to meet our critters, when I first mentioned cockroaches, not a one of them was all excited about meeting them. However, which I wasn't either when I first met the cockroaches, but I believe every one of them actually got to touch one and kind of feel what its shell is like, and what it, because it's actually kind of a hard little critter, and so they went outside of their comfort zone and actually got to do that. I do believe they enjoy petting the dogs more, but wouldn't we all, so yeah, it was a very fun day, and I appreciate so much that they thought of me to be able to call on me and see if I could help make that connection, and was blessed to be right place, right time that I could do that. And I gotta say, I probably had more fun than they did. It was awesome. And so we here at Ability MKE Now are thrilled to have I want to say an old friend. He's not actually, Zach is not someone that we've known all that long, but in a short amount of time, he feels like has become an old friend of ours. Like, we've known him forever, and really appreciate the cool things that he is doing. And I wanted to ask him a very specific question. A week ago, there was an amazing event that took place, and I know we've talked about it on the show previously quite a bit now, where it was 222 to Save 22. It was bringing awareness, and more than just awareness, but bringing all the highlights to the horrible issue of veteran suicide. And with that day, Zach had he did 22 hours of podcasting. So beyond impressed. Zach, I want to bring you back in. Thank you so much for being with us again tonight. I just want to find out, how was it for you? How was your experience with that? Well, if I'm calling you old, I'm calling myself old too. So Glad to hear that. I know I've only heard good things. I'm looking forward to getting back to seeing or listening to and catching up on some of the highlights along the way there. Did you have a favorite story that came up that day? Is it possible to narrow it down to maybe one or two snippets that you could share with us? Awesome. Yeah, and I can only imagine the all the different stories and pieces that would have gone into the 22 hours. I was able to be part of when we had the Happy Neighborhood Project portion, and I know just how powerful that piece was. And that was only just over an hour. There are so many people that are affected along the way, because when one person loses their life to something as horrible as suicide, there's a lot of people. There's a ripple effect. It goes out. It touches so many people in so many ways. Actually, you did make a quick mention of another event that is coming up that we haven't talked about on here yet. So between Kurt and Zach, do you want to just give us a quick insight on what is Hope Stock? Excellent. And as the date approaches, we'll keep catching snippets of things we can look forward to with that. We also do have Rose Onama on here with us. I do want to bring her in for a moment as well. And I know, let's see, you may have to do *6 on your phone, Rose, to be able to unmute and talk to us. Just wanted to check in. Are you able to talk at this point? I'd love to hear from you as well.
And Rose, as we're trying to open up your microphone, *6 is the command to unmute and have your microphone work. But Sue, it doesn't look like we're getting an immediate response to the *6 by Rose. So why don't you just go ahead and close us out? Take it away.
All right. Well, and Rose, if you do get that working, feel free to pop back in here and let us know you're on. But actually, Kurt, if you don't mind, just sharing a couple thoughts that you have. I know you are very connected with the Hope Stock event as well. Do you want to share a couple pieces of what you're aware of as well?
Yes. So again, July 29th, 30th, 31st, 3-day event in support of Project Die Hard, Hopestock. So we are working hard to get the cameras and microphones available on the grounds, to get an audio-visual team that will go ahead and make it available to us out here, so that what's going on down there in Illinois will be available to us here in Milwaukee and wherever else we attract an audience around the world. And and even the week before, we're going to do a little bit of a pep rally, Friday, July 22nd. I'm going to be surveying people between now and those July dates, and find out what they're doing on that Friday, July 22nd, and how we could capture comments that'll go on out and around in the topic of "we're losing too many lives to veteran suicide."
Very good. I'm looking forward to learning more as the event actually as both dates come forward here for July, and to be able to see how to plug into I can do to be of assistance along the way with all this as well. And actually, I know we got Emily on here too. I believe you are also connected to all this. So is there a piece of this that you are most looking forward to?
Not sure. I think I know all of it at the moment. But I guess I might be able to pick something as it gets closer. But right now it's kind of we've only had like 2 meetings so far about it. So
excellent. All right. Well, I look forward to getting your thoughts on that in future times here, because we'll definitely have a chance to chat more on it. So I do hope that perhaps next week we could have Rose come back and be able to chat with us. And she's always an amazing storyteller. Love hearing from her and all the things that she can bring forward with her amazing background. And she's a very unique individual that I am very pleased to have. We've had her on here before, and look forward to hearing more from her. Again, I just as always, Zach, we appreciate you being here. Love having you participate with us and share all your wisdom. And Kurt and Emily, thank you both for all you do all the time. We love being here. Ability MKE Now on River West Radio. We have some great friends in the area here, friends with ACAP. Look forward to the summer. I'm always looking forward to our adaptive water scheme that we have coming up, and maybe we can touch on that again in the future too, because there's so many good things going on in the Milwaukee area. So my name again is Sue Roskoff, and for Ability MKE Now, have a great one, everyone. We thank you.
All right, that was Ability MKE Now out of Wisconsin. So we want to thank them very much for allowing us to go on ahead and pirate in with them and talk to them and learn a little bit more. We always encourage you to make sure that you're checking out everything that's available to you when it comes to doing good, folks. Once again, this is all about doing good. Okay, we're just people who are sitting there. We're normal people just like you, who are trying to discuss options to help others. That's all this is about. As I adjust my camera and become like the Jolly Green Giant or something there. I don't know what happened, but we're all our purpose is that, you know what, we want to try to find solutions to problems, because nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. My name is Zach with Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. And the new pACT channel. I want to once again, before I get off of here real quick, I want to make sure that you understand we are looking for people who want to host podcasts. If you're interested in hosting a family-friendly podcast, get a hold of us. Maybe we can talk. You can be a guest. Maybe you can be a host. Let's make sure. Let's find a spot for you. It's easy to do. It's fun to do, and it's needed. Positivity, it's needed. We need positive words. So let's get together and let's do it. Please remember that nobody needs to go hungry when there's food that's not being eaten. If you got some leftovers, you got an old butter bowl, heat it up, take it out to somebody that you know where they're hungry and they're cold. Nobody has to go cold when we've got clothing in our closet that no longer is doing us any good. You know what? Take that hoodie, put it in your car, do some good with it. Make sure that you give it to somebody when they're battling with the cold. Why? Because it's not doing you any good in your closet. Make sure you love somebody out there because somebody out there loves you. My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. You can always get a hold of me by visiting www.communitypayitforward.us. One more time, www.communitypayitforward.us. Let me try it one more time without screwing it up. www.communitypayitforward.us, or you can give me a call, 970-909-0751, 970-909-0751. We're looking for people who want to put their business where their heart is. If you want to sponsor anything that we're doing here on the channel, just give us a call. Let's see. Everybody has a fit. Please remember to love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. Have a great day. We'll see you on Tuesday when we're back with our podcasts. And we'll be back with Compassionate Citizen Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Mountain. I hope you check that show out. Followed by, let me just do this real quick. I'm just going to do this thing here real quick because, well, why not? I shut my camera off. That's not what I wanted to do. Not at all. Yeah, I'm not going to do it now. Anyway, but we've got podcasting available. Join us next Tuesday for WOW, World of Women podcasting. That comes on at 8 o'clock East, 6 o'clock Mountain. And then the next day you've got the brand new show, Community Impact, which is at, once again, 3 p.m. East, 1 p.m. Mountain. And then we're going to be right back here on Wednesday night for another episode of pACT. You guys have a great night. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much to my two guests. We had two wonderful, wonderful guests on, and I cannot thank them enough. We had the beautiful and talented Sabrina Morris, the lifestyle promoter. And make sure you remember, this is the most important book you will see for the next week. The bidding starts at $20. The winning bid of this book is going to go to Lydia, who was our other guest tonight, to build schools. Everybody who makes a donation is going to also receive one of our cooling towels. Summer's coming. These are nice to have. It's a microfiber towel. You get it wet, it stays cold for a long time. And you just wrap it around your neck. You stay cool. You stay comfortable. So please remember that we're going to have that all set up by tomorrow morning. So remember, the bid starting at $20. There's also going to be artwork attached to this. But we got a lot of things coming up, folks. We got a lot of good things that we can do together. We can only do it with your help. We need you. Please make sure you join us. Thank you very much.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.